Hello and welcome to the ELO user training video series. In this series, we'll be teaching you all you need to know about ELO from our user's perspective. We hope that you find these videos informative, and if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below or email us your questions at the address in the description. In the last video, we learned additional functionality available with MS Office and ELO. In this video, we will be exploring ELO's inbuilt workflow system. In this video, we will be discussing initiating an ad hoc workflow, a workflow's overview, how to check its status and pending tasks, and how to action a workflow you have received. ELO comes with a variety of inbuilt workflows and workflow functions that are available to all users. Let's go through some of these workflows and functions through initiating an ad hoc workflow. To do this, we need to select a document, press New from the top ribbon band, select Create Task, then Ad hoc Workflow. We will now see a menu where we can select one of several workflows which come as standard. You will notice that the name of the workflow will be inherited by the short name of the document we had selected. This happens by default. If we wish to change the name of the workflow, we can do so up here. Ad hoc workflows can be used to send a document to a user or users for approval or to notify them. ELO comes with 4 workflows as standard and can be grouped into 2 different types. They are serial approval. This workflow works on the principle of sequentially passing the workflow forward to participants. Each participant must decide whether to approve or deny the workflow, meaning that depending on their choice, the next user in line may or may not receive the workflow. Parallel approval. The workflow is distributed in parallel. All recipients will receive the workflow at the same time, with each user needing to grant approval or confirm that they have received it. Let's go through a serial approval as an example. To build the workflow, we will need to enter the name of the user and or groups we wish to distribute the workflow to. In this scenario, we will add Michael Smith and Alice Clark to the workflow. As Michael is at the top of the list, the workflow will first go to Michael Smith, and should they approve it, it would then flow on to Alice. On the right side, we can place job instructions for what we would need the users to do. For now, we will simply name the instructions Approval 01 and Approval 02. Additionally, we can add user groups to this workflow, such as adding the marketing user group, and we could give them the job instruction of Department Approval. If we did this, all users in the marketing group would receive a notification or a task that they need to approve. We won't in this scenario, but it is worthwhile to keep this feature in mind. You will also see on the right-hand side the escalation management. This is used in the event that a user in the serial approval hasn't approved in a set period of time. If this is the case, we can nominate someone to send the notification to instead. Once we press OK, the workflow will start and we'll be able to progress through it. As we saw flashed on the top of our screen, the workflow has been started. Let's now log in as Michael Smith, who was the first person in the workflow user list. If Michael would want to check if they have any tasks available, they would navigate to either the Tasks tile on the home page or go down to the bottom left and select the Tasks menu option. We can see that there is a 2 next to the word Tasks. This denotes that Michael has 2 tasks that need action. Having selected Tasks menu option, we will be brought to a screen that shows all the available tasks. You will notice that the Approval 01 task is highlighted. This lets users know that the task is new and is yet to be viewed or opened. Once we select the tasks, on the right-hand side, we will be able to see the workflow's progress with the option Workflows for this entry. Here, we can see who started the workflow, who the first approver will be, and all other members of the serial workflow. We now want to action the assigned workflow. To do this, we select the pending workflow, go to the Tasks menu in the top ribbon band, and click Pass Workflow Forward. We will be prompted by a screen where we can add comments to the workflow and then approve or reject the workflow. Once we select Approve, the task will disappear from our menu, as it has been passed on to the next approver, Alice Clark. Let's log in as Alex Clark so that we can continue the workflow. Going through the same process as Michael, we will go to Tasks, and we'll see the 2 items available to Alice. We select the item Approval 02 and then check the document attached to the workflow. Alice can then create a post using the Collaboration menu, wherein Alice will thank Isaiah for the document and make the final approval. Once we press Create, Isaiah will be notified of the message in their feed. From here, we then pass the workflow forward, adding a workflow comment and then approving the workflow. This will then complete the workflow. To view the workflow of a specific document or object, there is a workflow icon that indicates the workflow is attached to said object or document. Once we select Workflows for this entry, we will be prompted by a screen that will show the workflow, its structure, and all actions undertaken by the users involved with said workflow. Selecting the diagram view will provide a visual representation of the workflow, and pressing List View will provide a detailed history of this document's workflow history. This concludes our 5th training session, and most likely the world record for saying the word workflow. To recap what we aimed to learn in this video, we have initiated an ad hoc workflow, explored a workflow's overview, how to check its status and pending tasks, and learned how to action on a workflow that we have received. If you have any questions about this video and what has been shown, please feel free to either comment on the video, reach out to us at ELO, or start a workflow. Thank you for watching.